when you get into this position, basically what happens is 90% of your workout ends up being a bloody warm-up. I've heard this a few times before in my training days, is that, as you advance through your training life, the bloody warm-up becomes the session. And that's kind of what I did today. I opted out for a goblet squat. Why? Well, it's easier to do a goblet squat than basically a bodyweight squat. I know that sounds funny maybe to some of you, but for me it's easier to balance because there's a counterweight, and I'm somebody that likes to lean over. You give me a weight and all of a sudden there's a counterbalance, and it's easier for me to balance. You can see the heels coming up. I didn't really mind that. I felt a bit of a stretch, and so what I did basically was I'll do 10 and then get into a position, put my elbows on my knees and feel the stretch in my calves, and use that counterweight as just a bit of pressure on the Achilles and the calves, and then do another 10. And so I did 5 sets of that, then 4 sets of that, then 3 sets of that, then 2 sets of that, then 1 set of that. So what's that? 15 sets, I hope I'm not wrong. So 150 reps, lots of bloody blood, lots of breathing. And then I got under the bar and I felt a little bit better. The groin's a little bit better, and there's no hip pain. So no hip pain at all. The adductor pain's still there. So I think, when we start to feel crap, we start to kind of rush things and whatever, but blood. I just always go back to blood and a really good warm-up. There's a whole host of things that I can really go to when I get in trouble with my hip pain. The adductor pain is the band. The band really helps me, but I can't do the band all the time. So today I almost did the lunges. That split squat stance also helps me. The adductors, that's a really good feeling as well. So I've got a few things I can rotate. The band's definitely one of them. But the band makes me think, why is the band so good? It must be something about the lateral hip capsule, all that stuff on the side, glute med, min, TFL, all those external rotators have something to do. Maybe stabilizes the joint in some way, I'm not sure. Or maybe just detunes or de-excites, de-stimulates the opposite side when you really turn on the outside. So you really turn on the outside, the inside kind of turns off a little bit because it's an antagonist to the outside. And so maybe that's why, that happens. I'm not quite sure, but the band does make me feel good. The other thing that makes me feel really good, and especially when it comes to hip pain, is just lateral leg lifts while standing. Just kick your leg to the side. That's been a staple. That's what I did to stay pain-free during all of those AMRAP sets with 180. That's exactly what I did. That's how I survived that, because I am somebody that I cannot tolerate a lot of squatting volume. I learned that the hard way over the years. I need to do something on top to combat that instability that squatting creates for me, and anything side glute stuff works really well. The goblet squat stuff worked today in terms of hip pain purely because of blood, but it's blood everywhere. When I do some of those more isolating exercises like the standing leg kicks and the band, that's like very specific to what's going on. I think the most specific thing is the lateral kicks, abductions, hip abductions. Like those things are the most specific because you're not really involving the glute, the quads, the glute max, not even. Like you're just simply standing there hitting the side stuff, all the things on the side. So that's kind of most bang for your buck. I almost did that, but I really wanted to play with this today. And then there's a few things on my mind. I can do this. Obviously, that's a lot of work and basically destroys the rest of the workout because you've done so much fatigue. Leg kicks, that's one. Split squats, that's another one. Bands is another one. Hindu squats is similar to goblet squats, but that's another thing. But that's also takes away a lot from the training session. So, today after work, I go home, I was sluggish, and I'm like, let me just do goblet squats. I was almost about to abductions, hip abductions. But anyway, today I just wanted to bench, so I kind of did benching. First I warmed up. Initially I thought I was going to just do 5 sets of the goblet squats, but then I was like, let me get some more of that. That's kind of like a really nice stretch, so I did that. And then I did some bench, worked up to 140, failed that. Freaking exhausted by the time I got here. And then my back off work, my volume work for the bench press has been the reverse bench. Now, some of you guys have asked me, why reverse bench all of a sudden? Well, the reverse bench was part of the lifting method when I hit the 152 this time last year. I did a lot of that, and I did a lot of elbow work, and I'm doing a lot of elbow work on the side. I showed you guys in multiple videos what I'm doing, pronation and rising. More so rising now, just focusing on exploring that. But yeah, reverse bench is one thing, definitely. And the other thing is the elbow work and the wrist work and all the rest of that. So those two things are happening. Obviously, I can't include everything in these videos. And I'll do a lot of stuff like on the sides. I do a lot of stuff, in front of the TV. I've got a strap and a 10-kilo weight, and I just smash that when I'm watching the NBA or the kids, whatever. It's so easy to kind of grease the groove with all that stuff. It's so freaking easy. So, and I'm not going to record all of that. I only have one slot per day to do these videos, and yeah, that's kind of what it's been. I remember last time, don't quote me on this, last time that I got really, really confident with benching, I reckon I got the reverse bench to 120 for working sets. So I'm still a little bit way off that. Obviously, this is the second session. But the interesting thing is, this is, when you have second and third bites at something, you start to really kind of explore it. I remember the first time I did this, I felt a lot of anterior shoulder and a lot of triceps. But now that I'm doing this, I'm feeling my mid back and not my lower back, but my lower traps when I'm doing these reverse benches. It's so strange, and this is part of this whole lifting journey, that you could do the same thing 3-4 months apart and you're like, damn, I don't remember that feeling this way. So the body kind of adapts and whatnot. So one of the things that I keep thinking to myself is, why do I always do the same grip on the bench? Why is there always a pronated grip? Why don't I supinate the grip? What does that do? My God, that changes everything. Bloody, you're not touching the bar at your nipples, you're touching the freaking bar at your belly button almost, it seems. And I feel a lot of biceps, right in the insertion point of the bicep. A lot of triceps. It's a completely different strength curve, that you don't have that middle struggle. The struggle is, I feel at the top, just looking it out. It's a lot of tricep. So yeah, anyway, it's all that is happening. So, the benching's got no reason to feel crap. The squatting right now, after all the deadlifts in December, I feel like I'm paying some sort of debt for it. I don't know. But I've got some tools, next to me in my mind. So I'll iron this stuff out. I'm not as hopeless this time around as I was 5 years ago, battling with the freaking hip pain and not understanding what's going on. Now I literally have an idea, a really good idea, and stuff that has worked really well and propelled me forward. So I reckon I'm in a good state here. Appreciate you guys, like always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.